Okay, so that feeling right before a trip,
Yeah.
that buzz, the anticipation?
Oh, yeah.
We've got a listener gearing up for Tokyo,
Yeah.
and they've shared something really cool with us, a super detailed itinerary, not just for any trip, but for Mimi, Feifei, Wade, Sean, and Dolphin's Tokyo Adventure,
Whoa.
all
Yeah.
laid out in a PDF titled 2025 GIT PDF.
It's like we get to peek into their potential Tokyo memories before they even happen.
Exactly. It's not just dates and places, it's their choices, their thought process, a blueprint of their experience.
I love that, a blueprint.
So, our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to sift through this treasure trove and see what we can learn, what kind of insights we can glean that'll spark ideas for anyone listening who might be dreaming of their own Tokyo adventure.
I am so ready for this.
Me too. All right, let's jump in. So their adventure kicks off on August 23rd, a Saturday.
Okay.
They're booked on Cathay Pacific, Flight CX 450, leaving at 1 p.m. sharp from Terminal 1, Counter 4, and landing at Narita at 5:15 p.m.
Makes sense.
Flight cost. NT, $65,239.
Not bad.
Just picturing that moment, stepping off the plane into Narita, that first whiff of a new place.
It's exhilarating, isn't it?
Totally. And the very first puzzle they're tackling is getting from Narita to their accommodation, the home-owned lounge in Shinminami.
Okay.
They've got two options on the table. A 7-seater airport transfer, which will set them back, NT $3,394, or direct buses to Disneyland, thinking ahead because they're going there later in the trip.
Smart. So right off the bat, they're weighing convenience versus cost effectiveness, but also factoring in their future plans.
Exactly. They're not just solving the right now problem. They're already thinking about how they want to feel on, say, day 8 after a long day at Disneyland.
That forward thinking is key. It takes the pressure off later.
Absolutely. Then, after landing, navigating the airport, they've got two essential tasks.
Hit me.
Number 1, securing those bus tickets to Disneyland.
Got it.
From the Shinminami Exit 4F bus terminal, they even noted that it's an automatic ticket machine.
Very helpful, especially when you're jet lagged and in a new place.
Right. Makes things so much smoother.
Definitely.
And task number 2 is the Tokyo Travel Essential.
The Suica card.
Yes. They've got two options for getting those. The JR East Travel Service Center in Shinjuku Station East Exit,
Okay.
or a black automatic ticket machine near the East Gate marked, looks like they did their research.
They are prepared, which is so important in a city like Tokyo with its incredible public transport network. The Suica card is a game changer.
Right. They're going to be zipping around like pros. Their home base for those first few days is Homeland Lounge,
Nice.
apartment HL 303, costing them $125,237, which is roughly NT $26,300.
Not bad at all.
So day 1 for them is all about landing, finding their feet, and getting those logistics sorted.
Getting those little wins early on.
Yeah, that feeling of, okay, transport's done, Suica cards are in hand, we can relax now.
Exactly. And then the fun really begins.
Day 2 starts with a very important consideration: breakfast.
The most important meal of the day, some would say.
Especially when you're in a new city with exciting food to try. They've scoped out a few spots near Higashi Shinjuku, Tokyoku Fantuan-Dian, Okubo Onigiri, specifically Yosuda's, and Cafe Ekla, which opens at 9:00 a.m.
Ooh, I love that they're already diving into local spots. That's the best way to get a feel for the place.
Totally agree. From quick onigiri to a more leisurely cafe experience, they've got options.
Awesome.
After breakfast, it's off to the iconic Tokyo Station.
Classic.
They're taking the Marunouchi line from Nishi Shinjuku, and wisely, they've noted to check Google Maps that morning for the quickest route.
Smart move. Tokyo's train system is amazing, but it can be a bit overwhelming at first.
For sure. Their main activity around Tokyo Station is Tokyo Station Ichibangai, a.k.a. Tokyo Character Street.
Oh, I love that place. I can only imagine the anime and manga fans in their group are going to be in heaven.
Right. It's a must-visit for any pop culture enthusiast.
Totally.
From the character-filled frenzy of Tokyo Station, they're planning to walk to Ginza.
Ooh, nice. That's quite a contrast.
I know, right? From anime to high-end everything.
Exactly. It's like stepping into a different world.
Their list of potential stops is amazing. Itoya Stationery Store,
Classic.
Tonkatsu Nagakawa in East Ginza, Muji, Devsune Udon, Uniqlo Ginza, even Ginza 6, and maybe go to Hanayama Udon for some unique noodles.
Wow, that's a full day already.
It is. And they're smart to note that Ginza, especially underground, can be confusing, so they've reminded themselves to use Google Maps if needed.
A good tip for anyone visiting Ginza.
Absolutely. They're also slotting in some cultural stops, like a photo op at the Kabukiza Theater.
Beautiful building, even just from the outside.
Right. And if timing allows, maybe even a quick peek inside.
I'd love to see a kabuki performance sometime. It's so unique.
Me too. For a taste of tradition, they've got Nakamura Tokichi Hanten marked down on the 4th floor.
Ooh, for some matcha.
Yes. Imagine, right in the middle of their shopping spree, taking a break for some authentic Japanese
That
flavors.
sounds like a perfect afternoon.
Doesn't it? Now, next up is something that requires some serious pre-planning.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
The Pokemon Cafe in Nihonbashi.
Oh, wow. I bet the Pokemon fans in their group are losing their minds.
Right. And they've highlighted a crucial detail. Online booking is a must, exactly 31 days in advance at 6:00 p.m. Japanese time.
Wow, that's hardcore.
It is. They even noted that everyone needs to order something, with the souffle as a potential recommendation.
Smart. It sounds like they've already scoped out the menu and are excited to try it all.
Oh, absolutely. This is definitely a highlight for them, and they're not taking any chances.
Definitely not. After the Pokemon Cafe, they're heading to the Pokemon Center, Tokyo DX.
Of course. They've got to complete the Pokemon experience.
It's like a pilgrimage for Pokemon fans.
Totally. And to wrap up this jam-packed day, they're navigating their way back to their accommodation.
Okay, how are they getting back?
It's a multi-line journey. Ginza line to Nihonbashi, transfer to the Oeno Hirokoji line, and finally, the Odo line from Ueno Okachimachi Station to Higashi Shinjuku Station.
That's impressive. They're becoming pros at using Tokyo's public transport.
Right. They're mastering those transfers. And think about it. In just one day, they've gone from historical landmarks to pop culture central, with amazing food stops in between.
They're really packing it all in. It's inspiring.
It is. Day 3 is all about a change of scenery, a day trip to Kawaguchiko.
Ooh, Mount Fuji.
Exactly. They're hoping for those picture-perfect views.
Fingers crossed for clear skies.
They've noted that KKD might be cheaper than Klook for a day trip.
Good to know. They're really doing their research on the best deals.
Yep. Around NT 7,376 hours, or 1844, from Shinjuku West exit Mitsui Sumitomo Bank.
I've heard that bus ride is stunning, especially as you get closer to the mountain.
Oh, I bet. They've also got a little reminder to buy those Disneyland bus tickets if they haven't already, just ticking things off their list.
Always good to stay organized, especially when you're on the go.
Couldn't agree more. And here's a crucial detail. They've made a note to check Mount Fuji visibility before setting off.
That's so important. There's nothing worse than making that trip only to be greeted by clouds.
Right. They're thinking ahead, trying to make sure they get that amazing view.
A smart move.
Day 4 takes them to Ikebukuro.
Fun. What are they planning in Ikebukuro?
Oh, they've got a whole list. First, the JR Yamanote line to Takadanobaba Station, then a transfer to the Seibu Shinjuku line to get to Ikebukuro Station.
Okay, making good use of those train lines.
Once they're in Ikebukuro, they're planning to use the Ikebuk US to get to Sunshine City.
I love Sunshine City. There's so much to do there.
And they've made a note that the Ikebuk US needs coins, which is a helpful tip for anyone visiting.
Absolutely. It's those little details that can save you a lot of hassle.
Now brace yourself, because their food list for Ikebukuro is impressive.
Bring on the food.
First up, Ringo for their famous caramel apple.
Oh, I've heard those are amazing.
Then Ikkuen for some delicious soba noodles.
Love a good soba place.
Hokkaido Kaiten Sushi is on the list too, for a fun, casual meal.
Conveyor belt sushi. Who doesn't love that?
Exactly. And for the ramen lovers in the group, they've got both East Ikebukuro Taishoken and Mutekiya Ramen on their radar.
Wow, they're not messing around with the ramen option.
Nope. They're serious about exploring those flavors
That's the sport.
and the attractions. Equally impressive.
Lay it on me.
First up, the Animate Ikebukuro main store, an anime fan's dream.
Oh, I can imagine the excitement. So much merchandise and all things anime.
Right. Then, the Sunshine Aquarium for a more tranquil experience.
A nice change of pace. And those underwater tunnels are always mesmerizing.
I know, right? And of course, they've got to take in the views from the Sunshine 60 Observatory.
The panoramic views from there are incredible.
They even noted the entry costs for the aquarium. Adults $562, children $281, totaling around NT $1,967 for the group.
Very organized.
They've even got a potential evening activity in mind,
Go on.
heading to Shibuya Sky from the Ikebukuro East exit Sunshine 60 Street.
Wow, so they'd get both daytime views from Sunshine 60 and the nighttime views from Shibuya Sky.
Exactly. Two different perspectives of the city.
I love that. They're maximizing those viewpoints.
Day 5 is all about Asakusa.
Ah, the more traditional side of Tokyo.
Yes. They're taking the JR Yamanote line to Ueno Station, then the Ginza Line to Asakusa Station.
Okay.
Estimated travel time, about an hour.
Not too bad.
Their main destination is, of course, Sensoji Temple.
A must-visit in Asakusa.
Absolutely. They've got Takataga Asakusa Koromo Brothers on their list, too.
What's that?
They're planning on getting some treats there, even noted the prices and the possibility of using a KK Day or Klook QR code.
Nice. They're embracing those travel apps for convenience.
Totally. And a stroll down Nakamizudori is also on their to-do list.
Oh, Nakamizudori, it's so vibrant. All those shops and food stalls leading up to the temple.
They've got their eyes on a matcha specialty store, thinking about ice cream, drinks, maybe even fried meat patties.
Wow, they're adventurous. I've never tried fried meat patties with matcha.
And of course, Asakusa Kagetsudo for their famous melon pan is a must.
A classic. Who can resist freshly baked melon pan?
Not me. They've also included a helpful note about the IC card and pass card gates. They might be different.
Oh, good point. It's easy to get confused with all the different cards and gates in Tokyo.
Right. And you don't want to hold up the line trying to figure it out.
Definitely not.
Other potential stops in Asakusa include trying Ningyo-yaki, those cute little filled cakes,
Adorable. And delicious.
and maybe a visit to the Yarrow Tea House.
Sounds like they're really immersing themselves in Asakusa's culinary scene.
They are. And for dinner, they've got something special planned.
Okay, I'm curious.
Reservations at Sky Grill Buffet Musashi.
Ooh, a buffet with a view.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
They've got the reservation details down. Booked for a weekday evening, last entry at 7:00 p.m., maximum dining time of 120 minutes.
They're organized.
To get there, they're taking the Tsukuba Express from Asakusa Station to Shinokachimachi Station,
Right.
with a note that their Suica card works, but their subway pass might not.
Good to know.
Then it's a transfer to the Edo line to get to Higashi Shinjuku Station.
It's amazing how they're weaving their way through Tokyo's complex train system.
They're becoming experts.
They are.
They've even got an evening option. A visit to Tokyo Skytree.
Instead of Tokyo Tower.
Yeah, maybe. They're keeping their options open, depending on how they feel after dinner.
Smart. It's good to have some flexibility built in.
I agree. Now, day 6 starts with a journey to Kawago, or as some call it, Little Edo.
Oh, I've heard it's beautiful, like stepping back in time.
That's what I've heard too. They're taking the Seibu Shinjuku Line Limited Express to Hankawago Station.
Okay.
And get this, they've even noted the additional cost for the Little Edo train.
What's the Little Edo train?
It's like a special train designed to look old-fashioned, part of the whole Little Edo experience.
Oh, that's so cool. I love that they're adding those extra touches to their trip.
Me too. They're also thinking about getting a Seibu Kawago one-day pass.
Makes sense if they're planning on exploring a lot.
Exactly. In Kawago, their main focus is Little Edo Kawago Ichibangai.
The historic street.
Yep. They've noted Mataro Seika for their strawberry candy skewers and two-tone ice cream.
Yummy. I'm a sucker for anything strawberry.
Also on their list, the Limited Express ticket counter location,
Practical.
a potential stop at a Starbucks near the Clock Tower landmark.
I love how even with all the traditional stuff, they're still finding their familiar comforts.
It's all about balance. They've also got Tsubaki and Imotaro marked down, probably for those local sweet potato treats.
Ooh, sweet potato. I've heard Kawago is known for its sweet potato.
They've also made a note that buses in Kawago accept Suica cards.
Makes getting around so much easier.
Right. And they're planning to visit Hikawa Shrine.
I've heard that shrine is stunning, and it's known for matchmaking.
So maybe they're hoping for some good luck and love.
You never know. In the afternoon, they're heading back to the heart of it all, Shibuya.
Back to the hustle and bustle. They're taking the Seibu Shinjuku line to Shinjuku Station, then transferring to the Yamano line to reach Shibuya.
Can you imagine that contrast? From the peaceful streets of Little Edo to the neon lights and crowds of Shibuya.
It's like traveling through time in one day.
Amazing.
And their Shibuya itinerary is jam-packed.
What have they got planned?
Okay, deep breath. Hachiko statue, dinner at Tsukishima Manjiaki Shibuya branch, Disney store browsing.
Okay.
Sushi at Kanazawa Maimon Sushi.
Wow.
Maybe a Spanish bar, Shake Shack, Nintendo Tokyo, Pokemon Center Shibuya.
They're not wasting any time.
Nope, they're hitting all the highlights.
I love their energy.
And to top it all off, they might have reservations for Shibuya Sky.
Ooh, those panoramic views are incredible, especially at night.
Right. A perfect ending to a Shibuya day. They've noted that reservations might have been made a month in advance via Klook.
Smart. Shibuya Sky is popular. You definitely want to book ahead.
To get back to their accommodation, they're taking the Fukutoshin line from Shibuya Station directly to Higashi Shinjuku Station.
Another smooth train journey.
Day 7 is all about one thing: Ghibli.
Oh, the Ghibli Museum.
Yes, they're heading to Kichijoji Station on the JR Chosobu line.
Okay.
And here's the key thing. They pre-purchased their tickets way back on July 10th for a 10:00 a.m. entry.
Wow, that's serious planning.
It is. They bought them through a third-party platform on Shopee and are picking them up at a Lawson convenience store.
I've heard getting Ghibli Museum tickets is like winning the lottery.
It's super competitive,
Yeah,
but they were on top of it.
clearly.
Yeah.
They're not messing around when it comes to Ghibli.
After the museum, they're planning some relaxation time in Inokashira Park.
Oh, that's a lovely park. Perfect for unwinding after the Ghibli magic.
Exactly. And they've helpfully noted that Ghibli Museum tickets for the following month go on sale on the 10th at 10:00 a.m. Japan time.
Good to know. So if anyone listening is planning a trip, mark your calendars.
Exactly. Then it's back to Shinjuku on the JR Chosobu line.
Okay.
This time, they're retrieving their luggage from their previous accommodation.
Makes sense. They're switching hotels.
Yep. And they've got a couple of stops planned in Shinjuku before heading to their Disney area hotel.
Hit me.
Blue Bottle Coffee for a caffeine boost.
Classic.
And the Matcha Tokyo Shinjuku for some final matcha indulgence.
A good way to say goodbye to the city before immersing themselves in the Disney bubble.
Now, their journey to their Disneyland hotel, the Tokyo Bay Eastern Hotel, is incredibly detailed.
Okay, let's hear it.
They're taking the JR Chu line from Shinjuku to Tokyo Station,
Right?
then transferring to the JR Keio line to get to Maihama Station.
The gateway to Tokyo Disney Resort.
They've even got step-by-step instructions for navigating the transfer at Tokyo Station.
Oh, wow, that's helpful. Tokyo Station is huge.
They're mentioning landmarks like a Uniqlo in Grants to Tokyo,
Oh, okay.
instructions to follow specific signs, and even the number of escalators they'll need to take.
That's impressive. They're really trying to visualize the whole process.
They are. And I bet once they finally arrive at their hotel, the excitement for Disneyland will be through the roof.
Absolutely. They've earned it after all that meticulous planning.
Day 8 is Disneyland Day.
The main event.
They've made a note about using Disney Premier Access.
The paid fast passes.
Yep. It sounds like they want to make the most of their time and minimize those wait times.
A good strategy for a busy park like Disneyland.
They're also thinking about an afternoon or evening trip to Kaien Makuhari Station.
Okay, what's there?
Mainly, they want to have dinner and inquire about the Narita Airport limousine bus pickup location.
Practical. They're already sorting out those departure logistics.
As an alternative, for either day 8 or 9, they've got Mitsui Outlet Park Makuhari on their list.
Ooh, outlet shopping. Always fun to snag some deals.
They've noted that the service center's in Building C1F, and you might get coupons by showing your passport.
Nice tip.
And finally, their departure details. Cathay Pacific Flight CX451, leaving from Narita Terminal 2 at 3:45 p.m. on August 30th.
Yeah.
Arriving in Hong Kong at 6:25 p.m. Total cost for their flights, NT $134,080.
That's it. The end of their amazing Tokyo adventure.
We've even listed their reference materials. Guidebooks, a specific YouTube video about Tokyo transportation.
Always good to have reliable resources.
Absolutely. And there's a ton of detail about buying Tokyo subway tickets at Narita Airport, getting Suica Pass mobile cards, and Skyliner tickets.
Wow, they've thought of everything.
They've even included instructions for buying children's Suica cards at JR Green Windows.
Very thorough.
And their backup plan, using a mobile Suica app for payment and top-ups.
Smart. Always good to have a plan B.
And just in case they find themselves with extra time or a sudden change of plans, they've compiled a huge list of alternative activities.
Let's hear it.
More Ikebukuro exploration, Akihabara, Skytree, Harajuku, Ueno, Tokyo Tower, Odaiba, even a return trip to Ginza.
It's like they've got a backup itinerary for every mood and interest.
They're prepared for anything. They've also included specific transportation tips for the Skyliner route and key routes to remember throughout their trip.
Amazing. This itinerary is a work of art.
It really is. They've clearly put so much thought into it.
It shows every detail, from transportation to food to specific attractions. It's all so well planned.
So after this deep dive into someone else's travel plans, what about you?
What about me?
What are your must-haves when planning a trip? How do you balance structure with spontaneity?
That's a great question.
Diddy.
It is. Something to ponder until our next deep dive.
Can't wait.